Well, hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kevin Clayson, and I'm actually one of the original co-founders, one of the founders of this incredible company, Done For You Real Estate USA, and I am so thrilled to be sharing this information with you today. I'm so thankful to be here. I'm so thankful you're here, and I wanted to just do a quick introduction, tell you a little bit about who I am and who we are, and then kind of share with you a little of what you can expect during this time that we're going to spend here together. So like I mentioned, my name's Kevin Clayson. We started our company about 10 years ago, and we really found this kind of cool niche in the market that we've been really working in for the last decade. And we found that there's so many people who are doing the right things, and they're working hard, and they're preparing for retirement, and they're putting money in a 401k and an IRA, and they're doing all of these really great things. They're paying off their home. They're working so hard. And they are starting to do the math when they get to be, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, maybe even 70. And they're looking at the number in the account or in the retirement balance, and they're looking at how much time they have to live and when they want to retire. And they are going, oh no, I am coming up short. And so what we found to be a really awesome group of individuals to work with, maybe people just like you, folks that are just your everyday, normal type of people, just like you and me, who can utilize single-family residential investment real estate done the right way in the right markets, and that type of short-term buy and hold with consistent and predictable vanilla real estate has been able to help our clients begin to replace their work income with real estate income. And today what I want to share with you is just that. How is it that you can go about, starting wherever you are, how is it that you can go about changing your retirement, redefining your retirement so you could begin replacing your work income with real estate income? So my hope today is that I'm able to share some new, free, awesome information with you that could be really helpful to you as you move forward. Now, to give you a little bit of an idea of what we've been able to accomplish with our awesome clients, I wanted to throw some numbers up here real quick. We've been in business for a little over 10 years. And during that time, we've been able to help our amazing clients purchase well over 3,500 investment properties. And they've been able to see their portfolios grow by a combined $75 million in equity, more than that now. They have collected, I should say, over $150 million in real residual income from these single-family residential pieces of investment real estate. And what I just love, we've helped them acquire nearly $500 million of real estate. And what is so cool, and you'll kind of learn about this later, we work with them and currently are helping them, and we have nearly 2,300 homes currently under management for our clients that are redefining their retirement and replacing their income one property at a time. So what I wanted to do was kind of give you an idea of what we're going to cover today, and we're going to cover the fours. Okay, I'm going to share with you the 4 ways that real estate can really help you win. Then I'm going to go on and we're going to talk about the 4 keys to success that our clients have seen. We're going to share that with you. And then I'm going to talk about the 4 steps that you can take starting right away. And I just kind of want to set the stage. I have no expectation for this presentation other than to provide you tremendous value. We are going to give you some really great information that I hope is helpful. You may be a real estate expert, you may be a real estate novice. Regardless of where you're at, I hope that you're going to hear some things today. In fact, I know you're going to hear some things today that will help you shift your paradigm and help you see your financial life or your real estate portfolio or your retirement potential in a different light. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stick around because at the end of the presentation, I've got a couple freebies to give you. And I'm going to give you this really cool PDF and this really cool infographic that will stack real estate against the stock market and even cryptocurrency and show you side by side which could be better for your portfolio. And the other thing is I'm going to make a really cool free offer where you can go on our website and in about 60 seconds, you're going to be able to see if you're on track to retire, if you are behind schedule, how far behind schedule you're going to be, and exactly how real estate done the right way, single family residential real estate done in the right way, in the right markets, will help you create long-term wealth by redefining your retirement and helping you begin to replace your income one property at a time. And I want you to be able to take this quick assessment. It's really cool. You'll get a really comprehensive report specific to you that'll be delivered to you that you'll be able to consume right away. And I think you're really going to like it and love it. So we're going to talk about the 4 ways that real estate can really help you win. We're going to talk about the 4 keys that our clients have seen to really creating success with real estate. And then I'm going to give you the 4 steps of how you begin right where you are so you can create success. And I think you're really going to enjoy this presentation and get some really awesome new ideas out of this. Here's the other thing that I want to be clear on just up front. We are a company that helps clients invest in real estate, the kind of real estate I mentioned, and we help them become wealthy over the long term. This is not a get rich quick. This is not a run out there and flip a bunch of homes and you're going to make millions. And this is not a no money, no credit, and you can make $1 million in a day. That is not who we are. We are consistent, predictable, long-term investment strategies with single-family residential real estate in a short-term buy and hold that's done the right way in the right markets that can help you begin replacing your income one property at a time and redefining what retirement could mean for you and for your loved ones in the future. So I just wanted to clear that up. It costs nothing to work with our company. We provide tons of free information, and we do help people, full disclosure, we do help people, like I showed you, we help a lot of clients invest in real estate. But it is free to come and work with our company. The only time you ever spend a dime with Done For You Real Estate is at the closing table when you're ready to close on a property. So I just wanted to get that out there because I know in a presentation like this, you're always kind of wondering, what are they pitching me? What are they trying to give me? What kind of coaching program do they want me to buy? Today is real simple and straightforward. I'm going to give you tons of value. We're going to go through some really good stuff. It's free to work with us. I'm going to give you some free information. We're going to give you a free assessment. We are going to share some really great things with you that I think will truly have an impact on your financial future. So let's get into this thing. So what I want to do, the first set of 4 I want to share with you is the 4 ways real estate helps you win. You're a winner. I know it. You know it. So how does real estate help you become more of the hero of your own financial story? Now, there's really 4 things that we've come to really love about real estate, and I hope these things shed a little bit of light on how real estate can work, and I hope it's helpful for you. So the first idea is this one. Real estate creates real spendable cash flow without depletion of account balances. Now, to kind of describe what I mean by this, if you think of traditional retirement planning, which, by the way, again, not trying to knock it, just trying to say, what if there's other things we can do with our dollars to help get us closer to replacing our income come retirement and sort of redefining our retirement snapshot. If you think about putting money in a 401k, in a traditional IRA, in a Roth IRA, any of the sort of traditional approaches to financial planning, this is what happens. You're building a nest egg, right? We hear that all the time. You got to have your nest egg, build your nest egg. So you're building, I like to think of it as a pile of money, right? I always like to think of it as, you're like Scrooge McDuck and you've got a big vault and you're just throwing gold coins in there so that one day you can go swim in it. You're building this pile of money. Now, that pile of money is not exactly liquid, right? And for the most part, unless you reach a certain age, you can't just go unlock that vault and just pull out a couple bucks and take them to the store, right? That's not how it works. So you have this money locked up in an account and it's building this pile. Now I want you to ask yourself the question, when was the last time that pile, that 401k, that IRA, when was the last time that pile cut you a spendable check? When did it cut you a real cold, hard spendable check? Now, in the event that you are older than 62 and a half, perhaps it has. Maybe you had to pay some taxes on it, then you got the money, and you're off to the races, right? But if you think about it, as you're accumulating over the years, as you're preparing for retirement, does it ever cut you a check? It doesn't. It just grows, and you grow it to the point where hopefully you have enough so that when you're ready to retire, you can deplete your way to death, literally, right? You got a pile, I'm going to spend it on down, and hopefully there's a little bit left for my loved ones. Now, Real estate is a little bit different. Real estate, you're still building a pile, but that pile is a little bit of a different pile, right? That pile comes in terms of, we'll talk about this in a minute, tax benefits, appreciation, equity. You're still building a pile. You can have multiple homes and grow a portfolio over time. You're building an asset pile of net worth, but here's the key. With real estate, that pile never has to deplete in order for you to replace your income. You don't have to build a pile and then deplete it and pull out the amount of income that you want to spend every year. You build this pile, and if you've done it the right way, it just cuts you checks every single month to replace or exceed the income you had while you were working. And the coolest part is, while you've got this pile and it's cutting you checks every month, you're not depleting the pile. In fact, the pile is going to keep growing, because that's the cool thing with real estate. The portfolios grow, the equity grows. So now you've got this pile of money and it's growing, and it's still cutting you a check every single month. Real, cold, spendable dollars. Isn't that different? How cool is that? You know, when you think about traditional retirement, do you realize what most of us are doing? It's the equivalent of spending, 20 years to build your dream home, and you build it with your hands, board by board, brick by brick, and as soon as that home is done and you stand there and you gaze upon its glory, you begin to rip it apart, board by board, brick by brick. We would never do that with our dream home, so why do we do it with our nest egg? But with real estate, you get to build the house, live in the house, and let the house pay you some money along the way. So that's the first thing we really love when it comes to real estate compared to other types of investments. Now, here's another one. Real estate allows you to acquire that pile for significantly less than putting it into a traditional retirement account. Here's what I mean by that. Real estate allows you to buy with leverage. So what this means is, between you and with the bank as your partner, if you are using leverage, which, hey, everybody's plan is different, but if you use leverage, I'm going to show you how powerful it can be here in a second. If you want a $250,000 asset, you only have to spend $50,000. Why? 20% down payment, right? What's 10% of 250? 25 times 2, 20%, which is the typical down payment on an investment property. So you are now acquiring a $250,000 asset. I understand there's still a liability that's there, right? I get that. But if you're buying in the right market and you're buying it with the ability to grow and have equity, plus all the other profit centers that I'll talk about here in a second, you are acquiring an asset for less money that still has the ability. Remember, it's a pile, it can grow, but it's going to cut you a check. Now, I'm going to turn the camera to my whiteboard, and I want to do a quick demonstration of how powerful leverage is. Okay, so I want to show you how powerful real estate can be when you're utilizing leverage. Now, again, I understand not everybody's going to use leverage, but I just want to show you this and kind of demonstrate the power of leverage with real estate. So you're not just dollar for dollar building your pile, right, that can grow with the market, but instead you are acquiring a $250,000 asset for significantly less. Now, I had a conversation. There was a guy in my office today, young guy. He's going into accounting, and we were talking about some of what he could do with his financial future. And he and his wife are being very, very good stewards of their money. They're paying everything off. They're not taking on any debt. And I think that's wonderful. Now, I knew that this guy was a numbers guy, and so I said, hey, let me just throw something at you. I understand that you want to live a life without debt. I agree with that philosophy. However, what if you could think of it a little bit differently and you thought about it in terms of leverage? Leveraging assets and, frankly, somebody else's money to grow your money. And I said, now, I want you to think about this. His name's Garrett. I said, Garrett, I want you to think about this. Let's assume, now just stick with me here, this is a really simple example, but I think it'll demonstrate this idea of how powerful leverage is. I said, Garrett, let's assume you have $100,000, okay? And you could take that $100,000 and you could buy one home free and clear, and this home is worth $150,000. Now, look, I know this is an imperfect example. It's just to demonstrate numbers. I said, think about it, Garrett. If you put $100,000 into a $150,000 home, that's a pretty good deal, right? Let's say you sell this home in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. How much money are you going to make? He said, oh, I'm going to make $50K. I said, absolutely, you are. What kind of a return on investment is that? He said, well, that is a 50% return. That doesn't really look like a 5. And I said, yeah, isn't that awesome? He said, oh, that's so awesome. And I said, what if we could quintuple that return with the same money? And he said, huh, what are you talking about? I said, well, think about it. Let's take your same $100,000 and let's utilize it in terms of leverage. Let's take that 100 grand, okay, and we're going to divide it by 5, and it's going to give us 5 chunks of $20,000. Now, if you go find some more homes that you can buy for $100,000 that over time might each be worth $150,000. Now, you'll have to forgive my glorious drawing skills here, ladies and gentlemen. I know you are thinking, wow, you really missed your calling. These are the best looking curved roof homes I've ever seen in my life. And you are correct. They are magnificent, as are you when you understand this principle. I said, so you have this 100,000 and you divide it by 5. So now you put 20 grand into each of these as a down payment, and you are going to let the bank take care of the rest, right? It's a $100,000 purchase that's worth $150,000, okay? So you're going to put 20% down on each of these homes, same cash. And now let's say that you sold the whole batch. How much are you going to make on each home? This is why it's an imperfect example, right? But it's just in principle, how much are you going to make on each home? He said, well, I'm going to make $50K times 5. I said, you're exactly right. I'm going to go back over. I want to share a couple other things with you about how cool real estate is. So that is the second reason why we really love real estate, is it allows you to utilize leverage to grow your portfolio quicker. So what's the third? The third is that real estate gives you multiple profit centers. Okay, so here's what I mean by this. Real estate doesn't just make you money in one way. If you think about the market and you put it into the pile, right? How's that going to make you money? One way, the market has to grow. What if the market doesn't grow? What if the market takes a dip? You're in trouble, because that's the only way you can really experience growth if we're talking about a really simple structure of money in a 401k or an IRA. But with real estate, it's not just one profit center. See, you're using leverage to buy this real tangible asset that cuts you a check every month, and you have the ability to see it grow in equity. You get tax benefits. It creates cash flow. So real estate is actually a multifaceted profit creator for you. Now, I'm going to go back to the whiteboard because I want to show you another idea of how real estate can multiply your profits. The same dollars used in real estate actually allow you to make more money because of the multiple profit centers. Okay, so let me erase my previous drawing here, and I'm going to show you something else, okay? All right. Now, usually I have a live audience that is in the room with me, and I can make this demonstration a little bit easier, but we're going to do our best, okay? Now, here's what I want you to imagine, all right? I want you to imagine that you have a dollar bill, okay? Here's George Washington, and we're just going to call it a $1 bill, all right? Now, this $1 bill represents what? 100 pennies worth of value, okay? We all know that. So this $1 bill is worth 100 pennies, which means this dollar bill, and this dollar bill is going to have a serial number, right? It's going to have a 1XFG, whatever the serial number is. And that serial number is going to be specific and unique to this dollar bill, which means that serial number should only represent 100 pennies worth of buying value, right? Now, here's what's interesting. Let's say that you own this dollar, and you're going home from work one day, and you're going, you know what, I'm kind of hungry. And you take this dollar, and you give it to the Golden Arches to get a Big Mac or a double cheeseburger or whatever it is, right? Dollar menu. You've taken this dollar and you've given it to McDonald's. McDonald's gives you back, we're going to draw a really terrible hamburger because you guys saw my drawing skills earlier. McDonald's gives you back a hamburger. Now, who owns the dollar? Well, technically, McDonald's owns that dollar. Let's say the owner of the McDonald's, again, imperfect example to demonstrate a really powerful principle, okay? The owner of McDonald's on the way home says, you know, I really need to dry clean my uniform. So he drops his uniform off the dry cleaners. And now that same dollar that you gave to McDonald's that gave you a burger back, the owner of McDonald's has, and he gives it to the dry cleaner, and in return gets his shirt, right? Back This just looks like a worse M. You get what I'm doing here, right? So now this dollar that was only supposed to represent 100 pennies worth of purchasing power now bought you food, and it bought that guy a uniform. And let's say that the owner of the dry cleaner, who now owns that dollar with that serial number that's worth those 100 pennies, on the way home says, you know what? I really need to get a car wash. And so the owner of the dry cleaners goes to the car wash and gives the owner of the car wash $1, gets the car wash in return. There's my car, tire. And now the owner of the car wash, she's the one that now owns that dollar that you gave to the owner of McDonald's, who then used it to go to the dry cleaners, who then used it to get a car wash. And I'm an author, so let's say that the owner of the car wash wants a really great book on how to find happiness in the middle of all of life's trials. And so she goes on Amazon or Audible and downloads a book called Flip the Gratitude Switch, which I wrote. And she buys my book called Flip the Gratitude Switch. And I give her this book back. And now she gave me back the dollar. Now, this dollar was only supposed to represent 100 pennies worth of purchasing power, yet it bought a Big Mac, same dollar, bought a dry cleaned uniform, same dollar, bought a car wash, same dollar, bought a book. How is that possible? It's because real estate is one of the few things that gives us the ability to harness the power of our dollars, just like we can with leverage. We can also do it with real estate in a really powerful way. Now let's say it's not a dollar bill. Let's say that it's 50 grand, and that's going to be the down payment on an investment property, okay? The money goes into the investment property. Let's say the investment property, is you buy it for, I don't know, 180 grand, and it's worth, 195 grand or whatever. You put 50K in it, you've got equity in it. Now here's the deal. That batch of money sitting in this home is going to start to pay back cash flow. It's going to pay back appreciation. It's going to pay tax benefits. Now, this may be really rudimentary, elementary stuff, but I hope that you're just seeing this is why we like real estate. Real estate's really powerful for these reasons. So it's paying you back this money. Now, here's the cool thing. If you were to harness some of this appreciation and cash flow and tax benefits, and you didn't spend it, but you just hung on to it and you let this property grow, your $50,000 investment, what if over time it turns to a $100,000 investment that you could then take out of home number one? Maybe you sell this home, you take a $100,000 profit away, maybe you do a 1031 exchange and you put it into two homes. Now these homes are paying you cash flow, tax benefits, appreciation, cash flow, tax benefits, appreciation. And let's say you just wash and rinse and repeat and you got 200K a few years later, now you go buy 5 homes or 4 homes or whatever the case may be. Real estate allows us to harness the power of the money sitting in that piece of real estate, and it produces profits in multiple ways and allows us to multiply the purchasing power of our dollars, just like in our example, that $1 bill bought multiple things because it moved. Real estate allows you to take your money and it moves in some ways that allow you to maximize your ability to replace your income and look forward to retirement. Okay, so we've gone over 3 ways so far that we really love real estate, right? It produces cash flow. It's real hard spendable dollars. It has multiple profit centers. It allows us to use leverage so we can get more than just a dollar for dollar kind of deal. So what's the fourth one? The fourth one is real estate acts as a hedge against inflation. Now, I don't have to spend too much time on this one. It's pretty straightforward and simple. When inflation takes place, which it will always take place. We'll continue to see it. We keep printing money as a country. We're going to keep seeing inflation. So when inflation takes place, the cost of everything rises, right? That means the cost of lumber, the cost of labor, the cost of building, so on and so forth. And so what happens is as homes continue to be built and the cost of everything continues to go up, that has an impact on the other homes in the area, which is going to force values in an upward way, right, as the cost of building increases or whatever the case may be. And rents have a tendency to scale, or at least close to scale, sometimes even outpace inflation. So if you own a tangible asset that you put past dollars into an asset that you own today, meaning dollars from a while ago into an asset that you own today. And as that asset grows in appreciation and as rents continue to grow as inflation takes place, your money is in essence in a safe harbor being protected and actually working for you with inflation, but you still only put in that original sum of money that you had when inflation was less. And that money in that asset is starting to do some really great things. So real estate is tangible. You can touch it, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can lick it. I don't recommend licking your investment properties. It never ends well, but it's possible because it's tangible and therefore can act as a hedge against inflation. Okay, so we've gone through the 4 reasons why real estate can really help you win from a financial perspective. Now I want to share with you the 4 keys to long-term real estate success. And over the last decade, as we've been working with our clients and helping them kind of shift their financial perspective, we've discovered 4 things that really are key. This is the first one. The first key, success key in terms of making a simple real estate investment part of a long-term plan to become wealthy, is you need to remove geography as a condition for investing. So what does that mean? I live in Utah right now, okay? So home prices are rising quite a bit in Utah. And if I were to go and buy an investment property here in Utah, I might need to go buy a $280,000 or $300,000 home. That's what the average single-family residence is here. So if we were to use $300,000 for easy math, if I'm going to go buy a $300,000 investment property, how much is it going to cost me? It's going to cost me $60,000. Just for the down payment. With all the other expenses, I'm probably going to end up spending about $70,000 to go and get a property here in Utah that's one investment property with one set of profit centers. Now, that's because I'm sort of captive by my geography. I want to walk out the door. I want to look at the home. I want to drive to it. I want to go touch it. Now, generally speaking, people will utilize geography not as a crutch, but they think that it's a benefit. They think that geography is a benefit because they are more in control. We like to have control. If the home is down the street, we feel like we are more in control of the tenant, of the home, of whatever needs to be done. However, what if you had an expert team finding homes for you, doing the rehab, placing the tenant, managing the tenant, and you still made 100% of the profit, the gain, just like you would if it was in your backyard. But that was all done for you in another market where home prices were half of what they are in your current market. So for example, if I wanted to go buy a property in Indianapolis, Indiana, I might be able to go buy a property for $150,000. Maybe I can go to Memphis, buy a property for $150,000 or $160,000. Now, if I take my same $70,000 I was going to use for my one investment property in Utah, I might be able to split that amount of cash in half and go buy 2 homes in another market, which now is giving me 2 sets of profit centers and 2 chances at hedging my bets and making sure that I've got a portfolio that can grow. But I could only do that if I could still have control over my asset if it was somewhere else. Now, if you can find a way to find a team that can do this for you, that you trust, that's in another market, that you know they have your best interest at heart, you can remove geography as a condition for investing and begin investing outside of your backyard, which can allow you to execute an even more profitable game plan and portfolio and use those same dollars that you had and multiply, like we showed you earlier, multiply their results because you're not just in one property, you're in a couple. How cool is that? So that's the first success key. Here's the second one. The second one is you have to have a plan, and here's the key, a purpose for the plan rather than investing one deal at a time. If you walked into a brand new mall, okay, let's say you're out of town, you're on a business trip, you decide, I'm going to go to, Olive Garden. It's at the mall. You go to the mall, and what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to walk in the mall, and you're going to look for that little map, aren't you? Now, there's really 3 pieces of critical information on that map that are going to be essential to your success. The first critical piece of information is going to be that little star that says, you are here. The second piece of information that's going to be critical is where the Olive Garden is located. And the third piece of information that's critical is the quickest path to get you from you are here to enjoying some delicious garlicky salty breadsticks at the garden, right? You need to know where you are, where you have to go, and how to get from here to there. Most of us jump into real estate only thinking about where we want to get to. We don't often understand exactly where we are, and therefore we don't know the greatest path to take to get from here to there. So one of the keys to success is finding someone who can spend time with you, who understands real estate if you don't understand it well, and really unlock where you're at, where you want to go, and then a step-by-step path so that you can begin today. Because here's the deal. I don't care if you're trying to, you've heard that. What's that old Chinese proverb? The journey of 10,000 miles or 10,000 steps starts with one step, right? I don't know how it goes. It's something along those lines. Let's just say the journey of 10,000 miles begins with the first step. So many of us get so locked in to, oh gosh, I don't know what to do and I don't know how to get there, that we won't take action. But if you have somebody that can give you a game plan, a specific set of instructions and a step-by-step plan so you know where you are and really can figure that out with you, and then understand where you want to go, the goals you want to achieve. If you're like my educator friend, you may only need $5,000 a month of residual income to exactly replace your current work income so that you can live free and you don't have to work. But if you're like my doctor buddy, right, you're going to need 20 plus grand a month that you're going to have to replace. So the question is, where are you at? How can you get there? Where do you want to get to? And what's the plan to get you from here to there? It's got to have a purpose. And it can't just be, I'm going to throw spaghetti against the wall and hope this one deal works out, and then I'm going to stumble into my next one and hope that one works out. You've got to have a plan if you want to have success. So what's the third success key? Here's the third success key. You have to simplify the investing process to a handful of steps. So many of us get caught up in the minutia of investing to where we're like, okay, boy, what do I got to do? Well, I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to find the home and what kind of real estate am I going to do and blah, blah, blah. And we get so caught up in all of the things. It's like it's the Netflix syndrome, right? Have you ever done this? You go on to Netflix, you're like, I'm going to watch a movie. Sounds cool. And you go on there and Netflix is giving you all these recommendations. There's all these categories. You're scrolling for a half hour. You're not watching for a half hour. You're scrolling for a half hour because you're trying to figure out the best thing to watch. It's like this analysis paralysis that we hear. There's so many options. You don't know which one to take. In real estate, it is very much the same way if you have not simplified the process to a handful of steps. Anytime you can streamline and simplify, you're going to have a better chance at winning. So one of the things that we've seen our clients do very well, obviously with some help from our team, is be able to simplify that investing process to a handful of steps, 4 or 5, so that you know, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, and here we go. I'm going to share those steps with you here in just a minute, but you've got to simplify that process instead of making it so overwhelming that you never take action. So what's the fourth success key? It's real simple. You have to have a team of experts to do the expert level work. They may not have to do all of it, but you want experts doing the expert level work, and you want them doing it for you so you can increase the likelihood of success. Imagine if you had an expert team that could do all the hard stuff for you so you didn't have to. How much more successful could you be? Multiply your time, multiply your resources, because you've got a great team doing the work that you don't have to do. That is what we have found to be the fourth key of real success when we look at how real estate is done. Okay, well, congratulations. You've made it. We're at the end of the presentation. This is the home stretch. This is going to be a really quick section. And then I'm going to give you all that cool free stuff that I talked about at the beginning. We're going to get to those PDFs, and I'll give you a link so that you can go and take the assessment and start to get a game plan that's specific to you and what you need so that you can figure out exactly where you need to go. And you're going to really like it. I'm excited to share it with you. But first, I wanted to share with you just, I talked a little bit about the keys to success, right? Removing geography as a condition for investing. Making sure you've got a plan and you're investing with a plan and with a purpose. You know, we talked about simplifying the investment process to a handful of steps. And we talked about having experts do expert level work. Now, like I told you at the beginning, in the spirit of full disclosure, we're a company that frankly does all of those things for you. Now, it is free to work with our company, and I'm going to share with you a little of what that process looks like. The only time you spend any money working with a company like ours, done for you. Now, I don't know about other companies, but it's at the closing table. We charge a fee per property at the closing table as you're closing on this property that's rehabbed, that's fixed up, that's ready to go, that either has a tenant placed or is about to have a tenant placed. You know the numbers, you know where you stand, you know what your returns are going to be. It is all there. It's completely transparent. You're ready to close. And then we charge a one-time fee per property for us doing all of that stuff and really going through these 4 simple steps. So you don't pay anything up front. That's really important. I want you to know that. And again, whether you work with our company or another company, I will just be thrilled if you take advantage of the information I've shared with you here today to begin replacing your income utilizing real estate, to begin redefining your retirement. But in the event that you want to know what it looks like to work with our company, I want to share with you what these simple steps are. The first thing we would do with you is we get you ready to be a real estate investor. Now, we do that by creating a really specific game plan for you. And what we do is we have you sit down with one of our dedicated specialists, and they really dive in. They're going to take a look at where you're at financially. They're going to, mall map, right? They're going to, where you are here, here's where you need to go, and how do we get you from here to there, right? That's going to be some of what they're going to cover with you. And we really want to find out, what are you looking to accomplish? What type of assets do you have? Do you have credit that will allow you to go and obtain a loan? What are the conditions that need to be present in order for you to succeed? Now, getting ready is part of that is creating your specific step-by-step personalized plan and then sending you through a pre-qualification process. Again, all of this is free. We just want to help you do real estate, but we have an in-house lender that can take a look and see, do you qualify to do real estate? Is that a possibility for you? There's a recent article by Freddie Mac that said, out of all the loans that are done, about 10% of the loans are investment properties. The rest are either primary residences or single-family residences. But what was interesting is that the decline rate on loans across the board, according to Freddie Mac, is like 37%. But with investment loans, the decline rate is nearly 50%. So that small percentage of loans that are done in investments, over half of them get declined right away. What's cool is with this company, with Done For You Real Estate and the team that we've got in place, in doing the game plan and going through a pre-qualification and a pre-approval process, we are able to we're able to obtain financing for 97% of our clients who are getting investment loans for investment real estate once they get a game plan and once we're able to pre-qualify them. 97%, what an incredible rate. So the first thing we want to do is make sure you're prepared and ready to go and do real estate. We want to know, what markets do you want to invest in? We'll sit down with you, share with you the markets that you can invest in, and you can go see them on our website. You just go to dfy-realestate.com and you can take a look at where our clients are investing and the kinds of properties that are available to you and what those returns look like, what the numbers look like, the cash flow, the projected returns. You can see all of that stuff. We're very transparent. By the way, you can also go on dfy-realestate.com and see the last 4 years of total transaction history. We publish the entire transaction history of our clients. We obviously protect sensitive information, but you'll be able to see every home we helped our clients purchase, what they purchased it for, what it's cash flowing, what our rates are in terms of placing tenants and vacancies, and how many homes were bought in which markets. And it's all there, dfy-realestate.com. You can look at the last 4 years PDF full reports so that you can see, once our clients are getting ready, where are they going under contract? And that's really the second step, right? Once we know what market you want to go to and we know how to take you there and we know how that we can get you financed, it's time to start looking at homes. We're able to bring those to you, and you can see the home, you can see the pictures, you can know the numbers, you can know that it's going to be rehab, that it's going to be rent ready, and that we're going to be working on getting it leased out, so that when you move to step 3, which is to get that loan closed and begin cash flowing, you will be confident and comfortable that the cash flow will come. If you can't place a tenant, you can't really get any cash flow. So that's an integral part. And what we do is we work with you and manage the property management process so you know you've got a qualified tenant, that's going to be paying, that if there's any ongoing repairs, that those are going to be taken care of, and that we can manage this process for you in an ongoing way with you so that you can, once you're ready, find the right type of home that's going to fit your game plan and help you replace your income, and then get you closed and financed, and then allow you to get that cash flow so you can do everything we talked about, all the cool stuff that real estate does. It all falls on its face if we can't make that property profitable. So that's a big part. And then you move to step 4. Step 4 is rinse and repeat. One of the coolest things that I know our clients enjoy, and I imagine you would too if you decided to work with a company like ours, is once you purchase a property through the DFY services that we provide, we don't leave you out, blowing in the wind. We are there with you. We assign you a project manager who walks you through this whole process step by step. The entire team is right there holding your hand, top to bottom, front to back, through the entire process. And we have a team that continues to watch your property, manage your property, and will even do property reviews so that once your property is ready to be sold and possibly or refinanced, and then if you do sell it, 1031 exchange into a couple more, we can even call you and let you know, here's how it's going, here's what it looks like. Now you can be as involved as you want to be, but we are here to do this for you so you don't have to do the hard stuff. Remember, it's important to have an expert level team doing the expert level work. So you made it to the end. Congratulations. Now let me give you some free stuff and then get on out of here. Go kiss your kids and your spouse or significant other, whatever. I'm going to send you this PDF that we put together. It's about 10 pages long, and it's the 4 ways real estate beats the stock market and Bitcoin combined. And you're going to hear some of the stuff in this PDF that we talked about here in this presentation. We also put it into a really great little infographic, just a single page, so you can see it all there. That is my gift to you. The other gift I want to give you is this right here. If you go to dfy-retirement.com, it is completely free. It'll take you 60 seconds, and you're going to be able to go through an assessment. You go to dfy-retirement.com, dfy-retirement.com, in order to start this quick assessment. It's about 8 or 9 questions, and at the end of it, I'm going to show you what you get. So you go to dfy-retirement.com. You're going to click this button right here that says Start Your Free Retirement Checkup. And it's awesome. You're going to answer some questions, some basics. And what it's going to produce for you in less than 60 seconds is it's going to go in and it's going to give you a report that's going to contain information like, here's where you're at, here's your age, here's how much you have in income currently, here's how much you have in assets, here's what you're going to need in order to retire with the same level of income that you currently enjoy or a little bit less. You're going to need X amount of dollars based on the amount of time you have until retirement. It's going to tell you how much you're on track to have and then how much you should have in order to maintain your current standard of living, and it's going to let you know if you're a little bit short. Now, I will tell you, out of the hundreds or thousands of people that have gone through and taken this free assessment, over 95% of them are not on track. And it's always kind of shocking when they take a look at how far behind they are. No need to fret and worry. The other thing we give you in this report is if you were to start right where you are with the assets that you have at the age you are, how long could it take you to begin doing single-family residential investment real estate with a company like Done For You that's doing the majority of the work for you so you don't have to do the hard stuff? And if you were to do that type of real estate in the right markets with the right set of conditions and begin cash flowing, how quickly could you replace your income or almost all of your income? We actually give you a report that says, based on where you're at, here's the homes you'd go buy, here's what it would cost, here's what the next 10 or 20 years would look like in order for you to replace some, most, or all of your income. And then we give you a step-by-step process of kind of what that looks like. Now, this is fine and good and wonderful, and all of you should go get it because it's easy, it's fun, it's free. But really, the rubber meets the road when we can have a conversation with you. And so my recommendation is you go fill out the assessment and then jump on the phone with us, or go to dfy-realestate.com and hit a little button that says Get a Game Plan, and allow us to have a 20 or 30 minute conversation with you so we can help get you ready, so that we can help you go under contract, close in cash flow, and then rinse and repeat so you can begin replacing your income one property at a time and redefining your retirement. The game plan is essential to your ability to succeed, and we can't do that unless we jump on the phone and really help you figure out where you're at and where you need to go. Now, there are tons of resources on dfy-realestate.com. You can do all kinds of research. You can find the property reports there. You can look at the properties. There's all kinds of free learning and free tools and free courses. Tons of stuff that's there or on the blog. Feel free to go and check that stuff out. And if you want to get in touch with me, this is my email address, kevin@dfy-realestate.com. I'd be happy to personally respond and help you in any way we can. We are thankful that you spent time with us. We're excited to get you all this cool free stuff, and we hope that you'll make the decision to take some steps and begin redefining your retirement by replacing your income one property at a time. Because I know that if you will see a financial shift, and it's not just that it will make a difference for your financial life, but imagine what it will do for the ones who you love most. So with that, this is Kevin Clayson signing off. Thanks everybody for letting me come. We hope to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.